Hello, my name is Miranda Weiss, and I am the rehearsal director for Boston Ballet School's professional division at Walnut Hill. On behalf of the leadership of both Walnut Hill and Boston Ballet, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to our annual Student Choreographic Project. Both Walnut Hill and Boston Ballet have shared a commitment to nurturing young artists as they explore their voice through choreography. We are so excited that internationally acclaimed choreographer Helen Pickett has been a part of this year's process, mentoring our 8 selected dancers throughout the last few months. Helen's work has been frequently featured on the main stage at Boston Ballet, and her creative voice, nurturing eye, and intelligent heart have certainly been a gift to our community, as you will see in the extraordinary talent displayed in this program today. I want to extend a huge thank you to Denise Lewis, Mike Bucco, and Mike Micucci for their support in producing this evening's performance. And finally, our heartfelt thanks to our families. Thank you for supporting your child's passion. It is such a privilege for us to be a part of their journey in dance. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Helen Pickett.
Okay, let's start again. Hello and welcome to BBS Professional Division Student Choreographic Project Performance. I'm Helen Pickett, choreographer. This is the second year I've worked in the capacity as a choreographic mentor for BBS. In looking at last year's model, we decided to upgrade this process-oriented membership with a more one-on-one coaching and group guidance in an effort to give the students a more comprehensive experience. This winter, I had the great pleasure to mentor 8 talented individuals, all on Zoom. This year's guidelines: to choose a heroine as a base for narrative, choose 3 to 5 dancers, create duets and group work, that did not touch COVID, and to create a 5-minute work. Then they submitted a written project proposal outlining their ideas. The choreographers had 2 rehearsal periods culminating in a mid-process and an end-process video submission. In the group meetings, the students and I worked on leadership skills and artistic, technical, and structural details, including intention and focus, planning, research, their approach to narratives, how to coach the dancers, how to lead a room, and how to communicate. In the one-on-one meetings afforded closer examination and personal coaching. Before these meetings, I assessed and wrote a time-stamped analysis of their submitted rehearsal videos they had to submit to. We discussed the information and talked through strategy for the next phase with suggestions that covered choreography, coaching, both movement and acting, architecture, music, entrances and exits, and the whys about the work. I reminded them that my suggestions were a jumping off point, but far more important was for them to find their way, their choreographic identity. I think you will be very impressed with these young, talented people. We are. They worked diligently and intelligently to produce insightful and exciting works, each different from the next. The courage involved with creating and choreographing is rarely spoken about. It takes courage to choreograph because it is about bearing one's soul, your ideas for all to see. We spoke often about the fact that the buck stops with the choreographer. All of them took this to heart and gave their all. So here's to the courageous, smart, gutsy, and talented young artists. We are all so very proud. I want to thank Margaret Tracy, my long-term friend, Miranda Weiss, a wonderful partner, and Denise Lewis. We were all partners in this extraordinary venture. I hope you all enjoy. Thank you.
I'd now like to ask our first choreographer to the stage, Miss Sydney Holmes.
Good evening. My name is Sydney Holmes. The name of my piece is Dancing on the Light, set to Richard Dillon's Dancing on the Light. Pardon me, the name of my piece is Radiance. We were asked to select a heroine to guide the choreographic process, and I chose the Greek goddess Thea. Over the past few weeks, Thea and I have been through a lot, but her and her light and its many sides and all the beauties of it have really inspired me to create the piece that you will see tonight. And with that, I would like to thank Miss Helen Pickett for guiding me with wisdom and with such a passion for creating art. And I would also like to thank my amazing dancers for all of their hard work in bringing my vision to life. Here's Andrew Fung, Annie Fitzpatrick, Izzy Urbano, Charlotte Young, and Madison Rodolfi performing Radiance. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Patrice Bertrand, and I've been working in duo for this choreographic project with Colin Cloyd, who is also a dancer in my piece. I've always been really interested in the Greek mythology, so this is the first thing that came up to my mind when I heard that I had to base the concept of my piece off of a heroine. So after going through a few Greek myths, I selected the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. So for those who don't know this myth, it is the story of a Greek hero, Theseus, who was sent in a maze to kill a Minotaur with a group of people, and he managed to exit the maze thanks to the help of his love, the Princess Ariadne of Crete, and who is also the heroine of our piece. Before the piece starts, Colin and I really wanted to thank Boston Ballet School for offering us the opportunity to work with Helen Pickett, and we also wanted to thank her for guiding us through our very first choreographic project. Colin and I also wanted to thank our dancers for working with us, for being patient, hardworking, and really passionate throughout this whole project. And finally, I personally want to thank Colin for working with me, for co-choreographing with me. He has been working in this project as a choreographer, a rehearsal director, and a dancer, and he managed to navigate through all these responsibilities remarkably. So thank you again to all these people, and without further ado, I'm presenting you Dédale with the music from Max Richter, November.
Hi everyone, my name is Paulina Bartholomew and my piece is entitled Femme. My inspiration was the Greek goddess Aphrodite, and for those who do not know already, she is the goddess associated with love, beauty, pleasure, and passion, and her symbols are doves, sparrows, and swans. In my piece, the dancer starting off in the middle, Grace, depicts Aphrodite, and the two dancers starting on either side of her, Bella and Caroline, are her disciples. I would like to thank all of my dancers for their hard work and dedication, and also would like to thank Helen Pickett for her mentoring of my piece, and Miss Weiss for all of her input. Please enjoy Femme.
Hello, my name is Reed Duncan, and my piece is entitled All is Fair in Love and War, performed to Benny Goodman Orchestra's Sing Sing Sing. I was inspired by the story of Nancy Harkness Love, a female pilot, her husband, Robert Love, and her fellow Women's Air Force service members who flew service planes and tested new aircrafts during World War II. I would like to thank all my dancers, Mallory, Ben, Ellie, Victoria, Sophie, and Bella, for all their hard work and dedication, as well as Miss Helen Pickett, Miss Weiss, and Miss Lewis for all their help during this process. I cannot say how truly grateful I am for this opportunity. And with that, Please enjoy All Is Fair in Love and War.
Good evening, my name is Jake Lapham, and you're about to watch a piece inspired by both Kevin Alugela's interpretation of the cello composition Giulio by Mark Summer and by the novel Daisy Miller by Henry James. Daisy Miller is a clever and charming powerhouse character who immediately captivated me and encapsulated the music that I had already set my imagination to, which is why I chose her as the foundational story for this piece. I'm incredibly thankful to Helen Pickett for pushing and pulling me towards the best projection of my own vision, and to my dancers for being receptive and tolerant of my energy and my ideas at varying levels of irrationality, and to my mom for spending time altering and beautifying the costumes, and to the Boston Ballet School faculty for creating this project, selecting me, and supporting all of us through the process. It's now my pleasure to present Giulio Pas de Toi.
My name is Audrey Field, and my piece is called Harpolis. My original inspiration was the prompt that Helen gave us to find a heroine, and after some research, I discovered the Greek tragedy of Harpolis. I decided that I wanted to have 4 girls in my piece to each represent a different part of her life: innocence, adolescence, strength, and defeat. As soon as I found my heroine, I immediately thought to use Rachmaninoff's Elegy as the story I wanted to portray fit with the lyrical, ever-changing solemnity of the music. I am lucky to be able to use live music, with James, a piano major, playing for my piece tonight. Working with him has been inspirational and a great learning experience for myself and my dancers. I would like to thank my teachers for providing me with this opportunity: Helen Pickett, our mentor, who has helped me so much on this journey, and my dancers, who worked incredibly hard to make my ideas reality. Hope you enjoy.
My name is Celeste Cisneros, and the piece I choreographed is called Joan. This piece tells the story of a young heroine and patron saint of France named Joan of Arc. With the help of her 2 angel saints, Joan defies all odds by battling the British in the 100 Years' War while dressed as a male soldier. To this day, Joan of Arc remains an inspiration to all to fight for what's right and to speak out against injustice. With that being said, I would like to give my thanks to my teachers, my mentor, Helen Pickett, my dancers, and my friends and family for supporting me along this journey. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoy.
I have a question.
Go for it, Mara.
First of all, congratulations everyone. That was absolutely stunning, and I loved the variety in all of the pieces. My question has to do with your music selection. Some of you mentioned that like you knew the story you wanted and then knew exactly the song you wanted, and some of you were inspired by the song. So I'm wondering if some of you wanted to talk about how you found that match.
Go for it, Reed. I can take it. So personally, I've always loved jazz and especially big band music. And I knew going into this that I wanted to bring my jazz background to my piece. So I actually had my first ever ballet piece that was like, okay, I love ballet, was to Sing, Sing, Sing. And so I have a like really deep connection with the music. And so I kind of thought of a way to bring that through, and that's how I actually found my heroine. So.
Go for it, Jake.
Yeah, I heard my music probably in the fall of 2019, and it was, I looked back, it was like one of my most listened to songs in 2019 and 2020, and I liked the fusion of the contemporary take on the classical piece, but then I didn't learn about the theme of the heroine until the day that I was applying for the project. So luckily I started a couple days early because I was able to go back and do research and read through books that I had known and think, okay, what's a good story? And so I actually chose the character for the music. And it's a short book, but a lot of different things happen. And so I thought that it worked because it was all over the place, just like the music.
Hi. I first kind of took inspiration from my music, Hallelujah Junction by John Adams. And I had heard of it maybe a year and a half ago. And ever since I started listening to that song, it was kind of like music to my ears, and I knew I had to do something with it. And so when this opportunity came, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to use this music. And so I chose my heroine, Joan of Arc, and I realized that Joan of Arc and the music that I had both worked perfectly together. So yeah, that's where it started for me.
Any other questions? Or did Audrey want to say something about the music?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say I had played my music before, not as long as James plays it. But, so I've heard before, and then when I found the heroine, I thought to use it because it was naturally hopefully music. So.
Mr. Vito.
Yeah, I'm interested in Colin and Patrice. What was it like for the two of you to collaborate on this project?
Well, I definitely went into this, well, actually a little background information. Earlier on in the year and over the summer, Boston Ballet had us doing some collaborative choreography, but as a bigger group of choreographers. And I wanted to kind of keep that going because I felt the dynamic of having your ideas really strong, but then having somebody else's ideas, and they can maybe cooperate, or maybe they don't. And that was something I really value because I feel like, for me, I felt like personally, if I choreographed it individually, at least for my first piece, it would be a little saturated. So yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's sorry.
No, excellent.
I didn't.
Did you want to?
No, sorry. You can ask the question.
No, I was going to ask a different question, so I wouldn't even finish your story.
Okay. Well, for my so I wanted to apply for this project because I found this project really interesting. But I was really scared to start choreographing by myself, and I felt like I would be really lost. So since me and Colin, we spent a lot of time together because we staged for great. I felt like we already had a really good chemistry, and I wanted to like help on this project with him, and then it ended up being a really, really nice experience.
There's a question back here.
I just wanted to ask a question to James, which is, you played really beautifully, and I wondered if playing with the dancers changed the way you played the piece. Like, I wonder if
Jenny took my question.
sorry. We're on the same wavelength. I just wanted to say, like, did it change your interpretation to be working with dancers?
Yeah, definitely. So it's obviously different playing solo and playing with dancers because there's that collaborative aspect. But if I were to play this solo, I probably would take more time, more rubato. If you don't know what rubato is, it's kind of musical freedom. And because I was working with dancers, I had to watch them, had to time them. I also had to play very consistently so that they get used to, so that it's not changing every single time. Other than that,
You also change, like musically, some bits, however I'm not to play it, might be different, or the expression of the music, but to fit like the storyline and the dancers, we brought some notes out more.
and also before they started working with me, they used Rachmaninoff's recording. So, and what's really interesting is that he's obviously the composer, and the way he plays it is very different from what's marked in the music. And it was very revealing to me how musicians, we can't only rely on the score, but we also have to bring our own voice and our own artistic interpretation to the music. And that's that's a big lesson that I learned while working with Audrey. Yeah.
I was curious if you had played it before, or you learned it especially for this project?
I learned it especially for this performance.
Wonderful.
And James, did you recommend to your musician friends to work with dancers?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all, dancers. You're